Around 1 year ago, we decided to buy a kit of DZO Pictor Cinema lenses. Today I'm going to break down the pros and cons and tell you why we even thrown one out of a moving van. The reason we bought these lenses is because we would primarily use photography lenses for our projects, and if the budget allowed it, we would hire in some cinema lenses. We really like the look we'd achieve from them, really like the functionality of the gears for the focus motors, as when we was using photography lenses, we were using those rubber clamp-on things that would just slow us down. So we thought it was time to upgrade and jump into cinema lenses. So when looking, we come across the DZOfilm lenses. They seemed like a really great price point, and the footage you could see online seemed really good. So after doing a lot of research, we dove in and purchased some. We bought these with our own hard-earned money, no one sent us anything. We paid around £3,600 plus VAT for the kit. Since then, in the last year, I've shot around 100 plus projects, from music videos to commercials to corporate, you name it, we've probably shot it. We have loads of experience, so I'm going to break down what's bad about these lenses and what's also good. So let's get into it. Let's start on price. Now these lenses are really competitive compared to other cinema lenses out there. And yes, these are from much more reliable brands, much more known brands, and have their own characters in image quality. And those lenses definitely have their place and are aimed at much bigger productions. But for a small production company who wants to own a pair of cinema lenses, the price point of these is absolutely perfect. On the other side of that, if you're used to purchasing photography lenses, these might actually seem quite expensive. In the realm of things, they're not expensive for cinema lenses, but they are expensive for lenses. Although some of the new RF and E-mount lenses are just as expensive, so I guess these lenses lie somewhere in the middle, and it depends where you're coming from. Also for the price, you get a kit, you get a nice hard case, you get some shims, you get an interchangeable mount, you get screwdrivers, screws. You've not got to send these off to have the lens mount changed. You can do it all yourself to provide all the tools that are needed. It's great for a price point for independent production companies, like I said, that you can just pay one price and get everything that is needed. Let's talk about image quality. Now, arguably the main factor when buying a lens. This lens is not sharp, it's not clinical. We love it for its flaws, we love the character it brings, we love the way it renders colours, the way it rolls off the highlights. There is almost a swirl to the depth of field on this lens. And again, as we mentioned before with the price point, the image quality of this lens brings stuff it really shouldn't be bringing. It is priced at the same price as the new RF or E-mount zooms, but bringing stuff from high-end cinema lenses, the way it rolls off its highlights and renders colours. So for its price, image quality is superb. Let's talk about usability. Now the first place you're going to go with this is the zoom range. The first lens in the kit is 20 to 55 and the second lens is 55 to 120. Now these are Super 35 lenses. 125. These lenses go from 20 to 55, and then the second lens in the kit goes from 55 to 125. Goes from 20 to 55, and the second lens goes from 55 to 125. Keep saying it wrong. This will be amazing if I can get these right. The first lens in the kit goes from 20 to 55 millimeters, and the second lens in the kit goes from 50 millimeters to 125. Yes, got it. This is a great zoom range, as they are Super 35 lenses. They are more cropped than the full frame numbers, but the actual usability in real world scenario is perfect. I'd say we shoot 90% of our work on the 20 to 55 millimeter. It covers most scenarios you're going to need. Yes, there is scenarios where you need to go wider, and yes, there is scenarios where you need to go further in. They now do a free lens kit that come out after we purchased ours. I'm yet to test that, but that adds a wider lens in there. But the zoom lens matches perfectly. It's got the same f-stop, same image quality. So if you need to punch in tighter, you're absolutely perfect. Let's talk about size and weight. These lenses are big and heavy. They are not ideal for any gimbal work. They're not good for mounting in awkward places. So really kind of tripod, handheld, shoulder mount kind of lenses. This is a DZO 25mm VistaVision. This is what we purchased to run on gimbals and lighter weight, smaller setups. It's a fantastic lens, the same image quality, just in a much smaller package. So that's the way we got around the size and weight. Build quality. Now let me tell you a story. We are midway through a music video shoot, and the next scene we have lined up, is us tracking out the side of our production van of a vehicle on a 2-lane road. We are going to have a cam operator hanging out the side of the van on a gimbal. The driver jumps in, everyone's strapped in, safety harnesses are on. We set off. We're travelling 30 miles per hour down the road. First AC, presses calibrate on the focus puller. The focus motor spins up, spins the focus to find the hard stop of the lens, but this time the lens is not clicked into the camera. Next thing, it spins the lens out the mount. Lens goes one way, van goes the other, bounces down the road, the van drives away, and everyone's heart just skips a beat. Everyone in disbelief of what has actually just happened. We all look at Will. There is no lens on the camera or the gimbal. So we all, as fast as we can, sprint down the road to find the lens, leant against the curb, after bouncing off the concrete. Obviously, this is the worst case scenario that can possibly happen. It falls out of a moving van at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. No rear lens cap, no front lens cap. Hits hard concrete multiple times. To our disbelief, when we found the lens, it was still in one piece. The back of the lens mount was bent, but there was no broken glass, no damage to any glass, luckily. So once we swapped the mount out, the lens was fully functional again. Now this is where Cine lenses really come into their own. With a full metal build, can you imagine that same scenario with, say, a Canon, Sony or Sigma lens? We sent the lens off for a quick service. Around 2 to 3 weeks later, the lens was back on shoots, back doing its job. So it's safe to say that these lenses are robust. Let's talk about the negative things about these lenses. After we dropped the lens out of the van, given we dropped it out of the van, we got a sticky focus ring that keeps getting stuck. We did send that off to get serviced, it come back working again, but since then the ring has again become sticky and it gets stuck somewhere in the middle of the range. I'm not sure whether this is a fault of ours, we did drop it out of the van. I'm not sure whether this is a common fault on all of them, but that's yet to be seen. The sticky focus ring could be our fault, could not be. Just thought it was worth a mention under the negative things of this lens. I know it's a Cine lens and they don't have it, but there's no image stabilisation. That's not so much of a problem on the wider one when you're at 20 or 30 or 35mm, but as you get into the 50 to 125, any kind of handheld work is really shaky and you really do miss that image stabilisation. Another negative would be minimum focus distance. While these lenses are not labelled as macro lenses, it's just good to know that the minimum focus distance is not great, so if you're thinking about doing any product work or anything like that, make sure that you have another lens in your kit. Another negative is the filter size coming in at 86mm, I think it is. That's a really awkward filter size, as Cine lenses are normally 95 or 110 for matte boxes, and then photography lenses go to 82. This falls somewhere right in the middle. We have managed to find adapters that I will show you on screen that adapt it down to 82. This causes vignetting around the edge on the widest lens, so it's good to keep in mind that it has got a bit of an awkward filter size. Overall, to sum up, we do not regret buying these lenses. For what we paid, and I've got a return on our investment, we feel that the image quality we now receive is greater than what we used to get from photography lenses. We are saving time when wiring up focus motors and using Steadicam and gimbal work. This is a no-brainer for us, and I would happily do it again. I'm going to drop an affiliate link down below. Please click that to support the channel, we'd really appreciate it. If you already own these lenses, please comment and let me know your experience. I'd like to know how everyone else is getting on with these lenses. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll see you in the next one.